The 2024-25 Pro D2 season was a journey through the drama, the passion and the unpredictable beauty of French rugby.
Week after week, across the country, stadiums lit up with noise, passion and heart.
From the winds of Dax to the fortress of Montauban, every fixture mattered.
And Pro D2 crowned a champion worthy of the fight.
From the very first round, the battles began.
Grenoble started the season sharp. Sam Davis leading them, steering them with real control.
And Georgie Javakia powered through defences with brute force.
And Brive, desperate to return to the top table, had signed Courtney Laws and they began to grind out the wins.
And Aix-en-Provence, they were making people sit up and take notice.
Isaac Rodder towering in the pack, smashing opposition forwards. Jimmy Goffer using all that experience to lead the backline. Provence became contenders.
But it wasn't just about those big names.
Montauban, silent in the background, stacking up the wins at home.
They were balanced and they were organised under Sébastien Thiers' board.
Sour Angoulême had a great start to the season, bucking the normal trend in France, winning many more games away from home than at home. Johnny May joining them, making a real difference.
Provence, well, they edged a tight battle with Brive in October. This was Pro D2 at its rawest and at its best.
The season gave us heroes, old and new.
Anthony Coletta, captain of Colomiers, relentless in every ruck and every tackle, a symbol of grit.
And Lucas da Silva, the hooker, who seemed to score every week for Brive.
The veterans gave Pro D2 its backbone, but it was the youngsters that were giving it its heartbeat.
Hugo Pacom, 18 years old, already a match winner for Colomiers.
Leo Carbonneau, leading Brive from scrum half and showing maturity beyond his years.
Alex Massey-Backer getting called up for Scotland from the back row of Angoulême.
And then, of course, there was Jerome Bosfiel, a man who'd only ever played outside of the top 14 in French rugby, and surely his opportunity to play at the top table had been and gone. Surely.
As spring arrived, the league table tightened like a drum.
Montauban continued to grind out important victories, organisation, grit and belief, dragging them through.
And Grenoble held their place at the top. The boot of Sam Davis proving decisive in narrow wins.
Brive, they were showing flashes of brilliance, but dropping points that left them vulnerable.
And Provence, they produced some of the season's best moments.
Incroyable Pro D2!
The playoffs arrived, and finally, people in the UK and Ireland could watch this rugby, thanks to FR UK.
Provence, they put Angoulême to the sword at home. They won with ease.
Then, an upset in the barrage. Montauban, 26-23 winners at Colomiers.
And enter the big guns, Grenoble and Brive.
Grenoble ended Provence's run. Just too much power. Provence definitely tracking in the right direction, but this wasn't to be their year.
Brive, home to Montauban. 15,000 people packed in a wild atmosphere.
Montauban pulled off another, even bigger upset. And by the end of this one, Dan Bigger wanted a pair of Jerome Bosfiel pyjamas.
I'm not going to say a bad word about Bosfiel tonight. I've loved him. I'm going to get a poster of him when I go back home tonight.
Surely this will be third time lucky for Grenoble. Montauban couldn't do it again.
At the Stade Ernest Wallon in Toulouse, the atmosphere was electric.
Grenoble started strong. Sam Davis nailing the penalty.
But Montauban, driven by their pack, never blinked. Their defence was ferocious and that green and black wall just would not break. Grenoble fought to the last, to the bitter end, but Montauban would not be denied.
And the final whistle, Montauban's dream became reality.
Montauban, champions of Pro D2 and bound for the top 14.
You ready to do it all again?
Welcome to FR UK Rugby.
Good evening. Look at this. The kids haven't even gone back to school yet, and French rugby is back again. Who needs barbecues and beaches? We've got a brand new season of Pro D2 exclusively here on FR UK Rugby. Welcome to a brand new season. And what a game we have to kick off with from the Stade Amédée Domenech. It is Brive against Vannes, the relegated side from the top 14 against, well, one of the teams that were hoping to be replacing them at the top table. But here they are in Pro D2, completing round number 1, which has already had some absolute belters. Grenoble with a last-minute winner at Oyonnax, who were 12 points up at one stage. Colomiers winners on the road at Mont-de-Marsan. Biarritz making a statement, hammering Béziers. Nevers, Aurillac, Valence getting a win, and Soyo Angoulême beating Provence as well. There is the table at this early stage. We'll talk about Biarritz and why they're only on 2 points, despite getting the maximum number of points. That is the fiscal responsibility that you have to take part in Pro D2. We will definitely get to that, but it's early days. But the two we're interested in are there in 11th and 12th. And that man, Big Courts, tell you what, it's a big team that he is part of. The last time they played at the Stade Amédée Domenech, it was a lot of expectation, a raucous crowd, and it did not go Brive's way, losing to the eventual winners of Pro D2, Montauban. What difference can John Cooney make? One of a number of new signings you're going to see tonight. A bunch of new faces, a reorganisation in the coaching structure, and what difference will that make? Brive, a whole lot of expectation, and they look to be in relaxed mood. We'll definitely hear from Joe Worsley on that one, who is part of the coaching team at Brive and my wingman here on FR UK. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Yeah, so been consultant at Brive still. It's been an interesting summer. A lot of new signings, some really good signings we made this year. The backline especially is radically changed from what we had in that semi-final that we lost. That shocking semi-final we lost that still makes me frown when I think about it.
There is Mako Vunipola, his first bout in Pro D2. A brilliant season he had for Vannes. He was absolutely exceptional, and they took their stay in the top 14 right down to the final weekend. Actually, this is a perfect opportunity for me. I've welcomed Joe Worsley. Let me welcome you. Thank you. This is the only place in the UK and Ireland, or certainly in the UK, that you can get free professional men's rugby every single week. That is what we're doing, bringing it to you, and what a league we have got. We're hoping for a bit of bagarre tonight, hoping for some tries, and hoping that you will get involved as well. Please get your comments involved. That's one thing you can do. You can put a little thumbs up on the video. That will help spread the word. You can put it in the WhatsApp groups of your mates. You can drop a little comment or a question, and I could pepper the programme this evening with some questions to Joe Worsley as we see Brive getting ready. Everyone looks in good shape. The stash is as good as ever. Let's have a look at Van. I quite like Van's kit as well, Joe.
It's a lovely shade of blue, huh, Tim? It would look good with your skin colour, that's for sure.
Mako Vunipola's looking all right with that one. And the fans, have they got over the defeat to Montauban in the semi-final?
No, honestly, that was like a seismic shock to everybody. Overconfidence maybe from the people of Brive, but no one expected that to happen. And the fan group is incredible in Brive. That's why you get 15,000 coming to most matches. There are 4 different fan groups, but really, honestly, everyone was very much in shock. People very angry still about the result. I'm hoping this is the first serious game the team's had since. I'm just hoping they'll put that out of their memory and manage to put a proper performance tonight.
And a word on just how well, I mean, I don't want to patronise them because they wanted to stay up. They believed they could, but they gave such a good account of themselves in the top 14.
Yeah, Van, guys, they nearly stayed in the top 14. If they won 1 or 2 more games, they would have stayed up. Now, this is an incredible feat for a team that had so much less money than everybody else. They got fight, they got heart, they're an incredible side. And to see what they did last year is staggering. They've kept most of their squad. If they carry that form on into the Pro D2, that'll be interesting. There'll be a challenge for everybody, especially tonight.
Well, you can see with the Brive lineup, there is a number of new signings. 5 new signings in the starting 15, 3 more on the bench. We've already seen some pictures of John Cooney. So a number of changes in the back line. I think we're going to see maybe a slight difference in Brive behind the scrum. They've got a big old bunch of units up front, and Vannes are going to be combating that with some familiar names to fans of UK and Irish rugby. Mako Vunipola, Dave Cherry, the incumbent hooker for Scotland. He started every single one of the games in the Six Nations. A coup for Vannes and for Pro D2 to have him. So the front row is definitely going to bring it. They have got some danger men behind, although what I would say with Vannes is in the top 14 they opted switch to a slightly more pragmatic game. Are you expecting them to open up again in the way that they were a couple of seasons ago in Pro D2?
No, not at all. I mean, they had a pressure game. They played it very well. They're going to continue doing that, I'm sure. They've signed a couple of backs as well, Rudel and Boutier from Montpellier and La Rochelle, who are good attacking players. So they've got some little bit X factor there, guys that can create opportunities. But they're very much a pressure game that they played that got them to a point that they nearly stayed in the top 14. We talked a bit about Brive, those new players. It's very much the Brive backline is radically different to last year, like I talked about earlier. Players such as Tisserand, who's at Montpellier as well for many years. Players like that will change the way our backline can play.
Oh, I missed that. Do you know what? Just seeing all the pictures, you must miss it as well, Joe. When you see the tape on the floor of the dressing room, these are the special moments when you're with your team, about to start a brand new season. And at this stage, hope is there for everybody. Everybody thinks they can challenge these two teams. We are expecting to be challenging for Pro de Deux. And what is John Cooney thinking right now? A lot of responsibility, a game manager, and maybe that's where it went adrift a little bit in the crucial stages last season in Pro de Deux. Stuart Olding, captain tonight, leads out his team from the dressing room.
I can smell the deep heat
alongside,
watching this.
Yeah, and that man right there, Francisco Gorisson, the captain for Vannes, he played the most minutes in the top 14. He is a resolute man and a talismanic leader. And they stand in the tunnel, and here we are on FI UK Rugby, about to get a whole new Pro de Deux season underway. And remember, we have matches, live matches, every single game week. So hit subscribe on that channel. Spread the word of what an awesome league this is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that leadership point is a very valid one. Brive, people like Cooney will give them that game guidance and ability to maintain a steady head that's vital in the tight games. Vannes, they have a team with many leaders. We talked about one of them already. Players like Mako, Joe Evans is on the bench. These guys are leaders, and it's one of the reasons their team did so well last year. I can't get across to the public how important it is to have someone who can step up and under all the pressure still make the right decisions and talk to the players throughout those moments. These guys are gold dust.
Here we go. The referee, Monsieur Ramos, is going to be looking after this one with his assistants. Hopefully he won't have too much to do, and certainly Brive will be hoping for that. They have more cards dished out by the referee than any team in Pro de Deux, and that will not help their cause this evening. All that experience with Mako Vunipola. And we are underway. Stuart Olding in the black of Brive, the white of Vannes returning. And a familiar shape. One out, and then it will go to the air, you'd imagine, from scrum half Michael Alanya. The Georgian onto his right peg. He started most of the games on the bench last season, but he's starting here in Pro de Deux. And they recover. They win the first aerial battle. Stop! Back in the pocket and finding grass. Stuart Olding. Didn't actually overlap with John Cooney at Ulster. They missed each other, but they're together now for Brive as halfbacks. The two Irishmen. And an early kick for Julien Tisserand, signed from Montpellier, as Joe mentioned earlier. And a good kick. Yeah,
he's an all-court player, can attack really well, defends well, and kicks well. He's just an intelligent rugby player, the kind of rugby player we really need in our team. He's going to be good for Brive this year.
Oh, the rain just coming down a little bit. How's it been in Brive?
Yeah, this week's been very wet. After a summer that's been epically hot, it's been very wet, which is a radical difference. That'll be interesting to see handling skills tonight, how many turnovers teams make. It's early in the season. People aren't quite as in tune as they will be getting on in the season with the rain, the sweat and tiredness of these first games. It'll be interesting to see how many errors there are tonight. They should make the guy with the contact lens get off the pitch, I think. Let's get on with this match, guys. I want to see it happen.
Well, we're going to have our first set piece of the evening. Courtney Lawson will be central to that from a Brive perspective, but it's Dave Cherry. He's going to pop his Van line out, Cherry, and it goes quick to the front. Alanya.
He got it right in his first time, huh?
Mako just lengthening that maul slightly. Alanya going to the air again. I think we've got a pattern of play, possibly with the conditions, but maybe with the pragmatic style of play that Van have got used to and used so effectively last year. And again, they win the aerial battle. That'll be an early concern for the Brive coaches to try and solve. And it gives their Van their first entry into Brive's half. Sione Kalamafoni. Still going at his ripe old age of 37. All those years on the clock with Gloucester, with Leicester, with Nottingham. Scarlets as well, he's been a revelation here at Van though, still going. Cherry on the carry, inching their way into Brive territory. Couldn't agree more with the comment from Beer and Wine that says everyone like the stream. Just put a little thumbs up on that stream, it'll help people that don't even know this game is on, find it, boost the algorithm gods, and I think we've got a cracker of a game here. Been some great rugby. Physical. Samuel Maximin thought he had him, but the leg drive was there. Kalamafoni out the back from Lafarge, but it's knocked on. And we're going to have our first scrum. Joe, your thoughts so far?
Yeah, so the pressure game you've already brought up. They won the first 2 aerial combats. Last year it wasn't one of Brive's strengths. Some of the new players coming in, like Cross, are much better in the air. That's one aspect Brive have to get better at if they want to win this game. Second one, they're allowing offloads. Some of these tackles are not getting finished. If they allow Van to go forward, like they were doing in those last several phases, it'd be a tough night. But well defended at the end, create the turnover. Now an opportunity to get the powerful Brive scrum into this match.
And yeah, as Joe touched on, there is some proper tonnage in that Brive pack. Not least right in the engine room. Look out for the giant frame of Konstantin Mikhaltadze, the Georgian, 130 kilos. But they've got, I think, it's 3 or 4 men over 2 meters in that Brive pack. Big boys. And Marcel van der Merwe, the tight head prop, the South African, 130 kilograms himself. Up against Mako Vunipola, a really interesting battle. And you have to hand it to Mako Vunipola. His scrummaging was excellent in top 14 last season.
Yeah, he used to get stick, didn't he, when he's playing for England? Not being good enough for the scrum, let's not pick him because of that. But really, in the top 14, he did have a fantastic season. It wasn't seen as a weakness at all in France.
And here we are, 2 former. They're right there opposite each other. They're obviously have a chat after the game. I'm sure they've probably had a chat already, but they've played in World Cup finals together, and here we are watching Courtney Laws and Mako Vunipola playing in second-tier rugby. This is Pro D2, as John Cooney, well, no one even worries if it's a crooked feed anymore. It's out the back and they're away. And let's see what this back line for Brive can do. Nudged through. Boutier able to read it. But Brive showing their intent. They're willing to play from deep. Joe's already mentioned it may be an overhaul for Brive in that area of the game. Whereas Van, Alanya thought about the pass, but has gone to the air once again. And he's landed that perfectly just outside the 22. Tidy enough from Tisserand. And what difference has John Cooney made, Joe?
A lot. His kicking game is probably his major strength. He has given us a 9 who can regularly kick and consistently kick well. And when it comes to the pressure game, that's vital. I'm yet to see him play a whole match, obviously, so tonight's going to be interesting to see how he can light up our attack as well. Play the ball quickly, get out of the ruck with real speed, on top of having that ability with the boot.
I suppose Brive fans would have been disappointed to have lost 2 of the bright young scrum halves in Pro D2, who will go on, I'm sure, to have great careers. Mathis Ferte, I know he's played a bit of fullback as well, but Leo Carbonneau as well. So they've lost 2 youngsters and got in a 35-year-old, but that experience can be vital. And experience is what Van have got with Dave Cherry, finding his man and going to them all. Now this is, I mean, this is never not going to be a feature of Pro D2. There was a 45-metre maul for a try from Provence last night.
Now Now, guys, that penalty was a pretty stupid penalty for Owen Teredi. He touched the 9. So if there's a ruck and you come over the ruck, even in that situation, everyone fell over. He could have maybe pushed his way over the ball, but as soon as you touch the 9 who's trying to play the ball and smack him, you get penalised. We'll see it again. He goes down, everyone falls over. And as the 9s pick it up, you see he just tackles him, in effect. He should have just walked over the ball and stayed over it there. It's a technical point, but again, you've got to stay in control and not give penalties like that away.
Quickly taken again, the second one of those short line-outs. Brive offer in the front. Dave Cherry and Mako Vunipola taking it, and it's the skipper, Gorisson. On the charge, Van in Brive's territory now. Spilled. Will Van take the counter-attack? Boutier, a signing from Montpellier. Back to Van.
Now that is bread and butter. A good quality tackle, a great hit. The guy goes straight to deck and he falls anywhere near that man, and boom, he'll have the ball in a flash. One of the world's best at jackling, and just hopefully we'll see a little replay now. So you see a good quality tackle, you see a player going to deck, and if that man's anywhere around, he'll be anticipating where the guy's going to fall. He'll be in position, and those long arms will be locked on that ball before you know it. Let's see another clip now. Now we see the turnover. Hopefully we're going to get to see the hit in a second. Here we go. You just see the intelligence, how Courtney moved even as the player was rolling. So when he stopped rolling, Courtney was right over the top of him and bam on the ball. It's that anticipation. Courtney's seen thousands of rucks and tackles in his life. He's just got an ability to be in the right place at the right time.
To the air for Brive. A momentum shifter from Courtney Laws and another penalty advantage. An opportunity to take advantage. Stuart Olding. Midfield. Wrapped up neatly. I thought there was penalty advantage. Anyway, I can't see if the referee still got his arm out. I'm assuming that's the case because Van are aggressive in defence.
Yeah, they really shut Brive down very quickly there. Brive had a penalty from the more. They tried to play to the width, but the sheer line speed of that Van team prevented Stuart Olding from making that pass.
So I understand, is it David Darrick was the attack coach, and he's now the main man, the entraîneur.
Yeah, so
he's the manager now.
The seismic earthquake of the semi-final caused the Brive tectonic plates to move, and Darry is now in charge of the rugby aspects of at Brive.
Now, my understanding of him, Joe, and you know better than anyone, as John Cooney just... and there you go, that answers one of the questions I had. Who is going to be doing the goal kicking?
Yeah, one of the major reasons he was brought in is his gift with the boot, we talked about already in open play. He's also a very high percentage goal kicker. And it's something the team missed radically last year because, let's be quiet while he kicks. Let's see how he gets on in his first kick. Beautiful. Look how easy and straight that
Very wise to have waited till the end of that, Joe. Imagine you gave him the big talk up about his kicking and he...
Yeah, the kiss of death. He popped his cherry really well, his first kick at Brive.
John Cooney gets the first points on the board. It's 3-0 to Brive. No, one of the things I was going to say about Darry, as you call him, the entraîneur for Brive, is his reputation is that he's happy to go with a high-risk, high-reward philosophy.
Yeah, he's a very attacking-minded coach. So you saw Brive playing out the half earlier off the kickoff. You might see it again now. Let's see what happens now. Let's see if Brive goes straight to the boot or they're going to play a bit.
But it's Mikhail Tadze setting the platform and... Oh, again, yeah. Oh, I thought it's Olding. Oh, they'll have wanted more on that kick.
That is not good at all. Now, I don't know why they took that decision there to pass back to Stuart Olding and kick out of 30 metres. They may as well just grab the ball and thrown it to Van and let them attack. It would have been a better option than what they just did. Let's see if they can pressure this line
with an
out.
opportunity then. And again they go short. That's 3. Brive seem happy to give Van the front of the line out. Dave Cherry seems happy to take it. as they get the phases in play. Francis Saïli, he is such a key man for Van. His second season at the club, and he was instrumental in some of those brilliant top 14 performances, as was that man, Mako Vunipola.
So he's gone back to obstruction. I didn't actually see it live myself. I'm not sure it was in the lineup. Let's have a look again at the replays. But you see
Was
Van.
it when Saïli ran behind the winger?
Maybe let's have a look in a minute. Someone must have helped him out when he's running. Van throwing to the front. They want Brive defend really hard in the lineup, so they want Brive to adjust their defensive setup so they get more room elsewhere where they can win the ball and attack from. You see here, Saïli slightly bottom one of the tackles coming for the ball, unintentional.
And we just saw a shot there of another new member in the coaching team for Van in Jeremy Davidson, formerly head coach at Cast, someone you've worked with, Joe.
Yeah, I worked with him 4 years ago. I knew him as a player as well, very skillful second one. Who looks like Buzz Lightyear.
He's got a jaw on him, hasn't he?
Strong
jawline. And speaking of Irishmen, Stuart Olding, again a second kick that I don't think this is exactly where he went, and it presents an opportunity for Boutier to return. He goes to try and regather. Driddy lets it bounce. Bit of a mess, to be honest, this little kick and exchange. What can Saïli do with it?
That is the first.
Well, slightly better kick tennis now. Here we go. Another aerial battle. That knock on, it definitely came off his head. Alanya has got an opportunity. He goes for the little nudge, tries to regather. Olding there on his own line. Van putting the pressure on. Lungs are burning with some of those big bodies having to run back and forward after all of those kicks. Here they are, Brive camped on their own line. Cooney marshalling his troops. Marcel van der Merwe held there 1 metre out. Garrison with the shot on. And they're in Coffin Corner there, a Brive.
Deep in Coffin
Corner.
And
that's decent distance, bearing in mind where he was from John Cooney.
Yeah, it was a good kick. You saw very poor ping pong at the start there. Kick tennis. It's such a vital part of the game. It's actually part of the game I now love from coaching. But you saw at the end one really good kick from Tisserand, but there was a very good quality high challenge. Van win it again. That's the third one they've won, and out of that an opportunity was created.
Just on John Cooney, by the way, thank you very much for the comment from Belfast Crafty, Nick, who said that at Ulster they called John Cooney the slot machine. His kicking was so good. Even his kicking hasn't been able to get his team any territory, and it's Van that are on the charge. On the 22, the defence resolute. Marcel van der Merwe and Courtney Laws getting the tackle count in as Lafarge dummies and goes. Half break from him. Fabrice Metz, giant frame of his, trying to absorb some more contact, make a couple more yards. Van have had the territory so far. The scoreboard says 3-0 though. What can Saïli do? Little step. His centre partner's there. Alanya is offload. Mako Vunipola nudged on forwards and Brive break.
Oof, that was lucky. That was really good Van.
The crowd didn't like the hit on Tisserand. Tisserand has stayed down and we've got some bagarre.
You wanted one, didn't you? Tim, you were wishing for it.
I always want some, Joe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not meant to say that, but I enjoy it.
Now,
there was a comment actually that said, I'm trying to find it now, but it said, oh, there we go, Telvo. If there isn't bagarre general by half time, I'm going to bed. Make yourself another brew, you're staying up for a bit.
Calm down. You better stay cold for a while. Again in defence, allowing some offloads, missing an opportunity for a double tackle at the start. That gave Van some go forward, from which they went into the Brive 22 and started creating offloads and opportunities. Playing really intelligent rugby. Did you see in the 22 when they won fast ball on a ruck, and the player going into support, instead of just going over the ball, he saw that the first defender was quite wide, just picked and went close to the ruck, creating that opportunity.
Can you hear what the referee is saying here, Joe?
Yeah, he's going to have a look at that tackle now. He's checking out who did it and what's going to happen. My first impression was that, wasn't it? Here we go. This will give you a good image of Saley coming in. Does he go high? Does his head on head? Ooh. This could be a red, guys. I didn't realise his head ahead. I was looking at his arm initially. Yeah, guys, this could well be a red. Saley, vital player for Van.
I want to see another angle because it looks like he gets the ball. He hits the ball. I'm not saying
but don't look at
their heads are close to each other.
Yeah, don't look at his, look at his
contact.
head. Look at his head. It's his head. His head doesn't come down. It catches Tisserand right on the nose and the face. That is why you tackle low. That is why you need to get people tackling low. I have a feeling, a strong feeling, this will be a red card. They might, this year they're going to give orange cards for 20 minutes for certain situations, but I think this will still be a red. Were Saley bending over, if the attacking player carrying the ball was bending over, they might give him a bit more leeway. Honestly, I think this is one of the situations where it's straight red.
It'll be interesting to see if, because they have the orange card, they quite often those, if there's any opportunity to use an orange card and downgrade it, that may be taken. It's going to be interesting to see.
Honestly, guys, this is why we need to get hard on tackling, to get the technique right. You can't have people doing that on the rugby pitch. I'm pretty sure this will be a red. So he's talking now about the speed of it, how dynamically he went into the tackle. So if you go in quite slowly without real intent, if you go in without real intent, then and no speed, then they might lower it to a yellow. But the speed's fast there. The speed's quick. He's going in quickly. Here we go.
Definitely reaching for a card by the look of it.
Head contact, donc aide tête, d'accord. Au degré de danger, pas de circonstance atténuante, c'est rouge.
C'était pas l'épaule, monsieur?
L'épaule? Non, c'est rouge direct.
Yeah, mate, it's red all over.
Red card.
Yes, that's hands down. Red card, yeah, we're going to see one.
Francis Saili.
Key player for them.
Key player for Van, yeah. Absolutely instrumental for them. So much experience as well with Quins, with Munster, with Racing, with the Blues. And a giant hole in the midfield. Although the pressure could have been amplified a little bit if Brive just found touch, but they've missed another one there.
That was a shout.
And one thing that Van demonstrated all of last year is that they are tough.
They're a super motivated
They're going to have to be here. Yeah.
Repli blanc, repli.
And they will play a territorial game. The extra man might just be even more, might give Brive even more confidence to have a go from deep.
Yeah, definitely. I think kickoffs, for example, you have to have two in the backfield. And that now with one player less, if Brive starts spraying it wide, players coming up, it's going to create either more space in the backfield or the first line, defensive line is going to be weaker. And opportunities for Brive and the way they want to play. I'm sure we're going to see that tonight at some point. But Van can still use that pressure game. You can still play with 14 players and play a good pressure game. Difficult with 13, but 14, it is still possible.
So I'm not sure if that was an HIA. Just from the tackle, I suspect it probably was. Kerwin Bosch, whatever the case is on for Julien Tisserand. The South African who was the fly half for the most part for Brive last year. Found himself on the bench. He can play 15. I mean, they've got an embarrassment of riches of Brive with Jamie Shilcock still waiting in the wings to make his debut at some point. I think he's got a little injury at the moment, but we'll see him later in the season. Some absolute stars, but it's Van. They're trying to continue. They've had the territory, they've had the possession, nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, and they're a man down. We are going to see what they're made of.
Yeah, that
So
pressure
Van der
game.
Merwe. Yeah.
That pressure game, they won another kick, which has gotten this position in the Brive half.
And it's perfect. Game plan. It's what you would, I suppose it's what you would flip to if you were a man down in a match.
Definitely, that's why playing at 14 with the pressure games is not the end of the world.
Elliot Rudel, a new signing from Section Paloise, someone else with top 14 experience.
Yes, very good. Again, good quality tackle. Player goes to the floor quickly. Ball steal opportunities will come your way if the right people are hanging around that collision. Let's have another look at this. Benjamin Boudou, the hooker for Brive, picks it from a long way off, flies in, gives the guy a great shot, and we're going to see it soon. A replay after this kick, provided he doesn't shank it again.
Make sure you're onside on
We'll see a replay of that penalty that was just given away. Come on, let's see it now. Here we go. It's a great shot. Let's watch. They play to the width. When they come back, you're going to see a man fly into screen and absolutely smash. Oh man, they're not showing the great hit. How disappointing is that? Yan plays on stolen.
Yeah, spot the defence, coach.
I know. Who wants to see tries? Who wants to see hits? And that was a great one.
No.
John Cooney misses out his man. It's the offload. And he's in open space now. And John Cooney running the scrum half support line is in. A little 1-2 with Benjamin Boudou. It is going to be checked by the look of it. A forward pass potentially, but if that stands, an outstanding try.
Yeah, if you saw, there was maybe we'll look at the line break in a minute. They're going to check out a forward pass and maybe a forward pass. He made a bit of a mess of the last pass, I must say. He didn't have the ball.
Cooney was running quite flat, but I think he caught the ball just behind him. Yeah.
I think that'd be fine.
What do you think, Joe? Is it one of those optical illusions because he's been stopped by the tackle?
I think it's okay.
Momentum and all that, hands backwards.
He lets it go going backwards.
Le joueur a clairement les mains orientées vers son camp, laissez valable.
No doubt on that one. I want to see the
Luke
line
Ramos
break
running to the post. Try scored. Brive are 8-0 up. Yeah, it was a lovely little break. Cooney went behind Olding, I think it was, and it was Mikhail Tadze with the offload.
So we'll see them hit it up. You'll see it pretty soon. I hope he'll cut to a wide angle. Player coming short, pulls the defender, and the outside defender didn't react because there were numbers out wide they were worried about. Again, that wasn't a great angle, but great to watch that from a good angle because you can see how a player running at the line hard in attack just drags the defence, manipulates the defence. And then if you read properly, you either give him the ball if he's into space, or if the defender moves in front of him, you can pass out the back and then attack that space that the defender's left.
And Francis Saili licking his wings all the more now because he's looking up at the scoreboard and he's seeing a bagel for Van, 10 for Brive, all, well, 5 of which, no, all of them from John Cooney, all 10 points on his debut. Oh, that celebration, the little wash of the face, is that a new one? I haven't seen that from John Cooney before.
He must have lost a bet to use that one.
Well, the one thing you do when you score is you keep your restart tidy. Courtney Laws has let that one slip and given Van another entry to the 22. They've not been able to take advantage of any so far. What can Van do now? And in fairness, well, I mean, under your stewardship, Joe, to be fair, Brive had the best defence in Pro D2 last season.
Yeah,
not in the game that really mattered, not wanting to bring that up again, but that's been good.
Thanks, mate. I was going to walk off and cry into my microphone. Still got PTSD from that, but still, come on. Got to get off the line, get some big shots in here. Just being a bit slow, not getting any line speed there for my liking, but Van making an unforced error, we could say. An unforced error and turning yet another ball over after being in the 22 of the opposition. It'd be great to see the stats on that. how many inches in the 22
I've got to
van
ask you
had.
something actually, Jokes. I was watching the little feed before we came live here on FI UK. I was just watching the feed, and Mako Vunipola just dropped the ball there. We won't want to see that again. In the dressing room, maybe half an hour before the match, he had like a little contraption that had a pressure gauge, a pump, and it was something that was strapped around his quads. Do you know what he was doing?
I don't know where you're going with that one for a second. I think it actually, no, I'd love to see a clip of that. It does sound intriguing. I'm assuming it's some sort of way of
it looked like you'd be taking your blood pressure, except he had them round his quads.
maybe it's some sort of compression device to light him up. But hey, let's talk about Mako's private habits another time and concentrate on the game.
Well, let's see how his quads are doing now. Well, it looked to me like Brive had a slight nudge on. Marcel van der Merwe might have got a slight better of him on that one. It's meant that they've got a strong base to kick from.
Repli, Blanc, repli.
And this has been the pattern of the game so far, with Van almost managing to regather another aerial duel. They're going to have to go to work in defence then.
It's awesome play from Voodoo.
Courtney Laws with the offload. Definitely intent, Marcel van der Merwe.
Yeah, avid.
Booting the ball away, wasn't happy with that.
No, he shouldn't be happy either.
We've definitely seen the intent from Brive.
Yeah,
Looks like
Benjamin Boudou. I want to see Benjamin Boudou break that tackle. He got a massive two-man hit on him. Great leg drive and leg strength, and he ripped his way out, spun and got out of that tackle, made a great offload. I would love to have seen Marcel hold on to that ball. But I want, please show us that Benjamin Boudou carry again. It was amazing.
Prochaine fois, c'est bras cassés. C'est clair?
You're right, Jules Tisserand's coming back on shortly, which is great. Really a great pre-season. Looks like he's going to be a great player. The more he's on the pitch, the better.
Yeah, both the fullbacks, one for either team, both signed from Montpellier and now opposite each other. A curious one. And in the case of the Van fullback, Anthony Boutier, his last game for Van, he's gone back to them now, was against Brive in a Pro League semi-final.
Spooky.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get the ball in the wide channels now, but it's Callum Afoni going route one. Looks like Courtney Laws was all over that one again. A second turnover penalty for him.
Yeah, you saw the 8 bump Cooney, gets him go forward, but the support was really late. And again, you give Courtney time and you're going to see what happens. That is the third ball he's been on, the second penalty he's won, I think. He is so good at stealing the ball. We talked about White, the way he can anticipate what's coming down the line, where the guy's going to fall. Now he's already thinking about it, positions him where he wants him. Maybe he could have shown a bit more arm, but then bam, look how fast he's onto that ball. People like him, people like Willis, it's that anticipation and knowledge of what's coming, that anticipation of where they're going to fall that allows them to get on that ball so quickly, on top of having the physical abilities to lock onto a wall and the strength to stay in there for enough time to win that penalty.
The line out goes astray. Van, well, there is space on the edge if they want to take it. They think better of it. Go to the sky. That's served them well so far. At least in open play, not on the scoreboard, as Kerwin Bosch. Tisserand hasn't replaced him yet. He gets his feet going. And there are little holes and doglegs starting to appear in that Van D. Can it be exploited? They're looking to go wide early. Holding to Bosch, and it is that man Boudou. Courtney Laws had space to run at there. And there is, again, space on the edges if they choose to use it. It's there. Bosch is taking it through. It's Cooney on another inside line. A dream debut for John Cooney.
Right, again,
and that atmosphere, absolutely electric in Brive.
Yeah, they must be forgetting that semi now. Now, again, I want to see this. You see a player attacking the line hard and the ability to read what's happening out the back. I really want to see that again from a good angle, because it's a good example of good attacking rugby. Here you see the player hitting that line, leaving. Look at the space left by the outside defenders who just aren't connected to their defenders inside. It leaves an enormous gap for Brive to stroll through. Okay, it's a shame we haven't got a clip from further away. Look at the size of that hole. Way too much.
Are Van leaving the edges too exposed? Are they trying to invite Brive to go there? Do you think that's what they're trying to do? Because it just seemed too easy to get the ball to the edges. I know they're a man down, obviously.
It wasn't even fast ball. It wasn't even fast ball, but currently the spacings are bad at the start. So spacings, when I talk about spacings, players should be 3-4 meters away from each other, out wide 5 maybe. Okay, if you're like this in that position, you can then defend well together. As soon as you leave a big space somewhere, if someone runs towards that, you have to suddenly shoot towards them to defend them. And when you shoot towards someone to defend them, that defender next to you, it's really hard to stay connected and stay with you. And you get these holes appearing. And if the attack are able to attack really well like we just saw, then you're going to pay for it like we just saw.
That is textbook scrum half play, isn't it? And France has another Petit General in the form of John Cooney, who has all 17 points for Brive. And this is about as perfect as they could have hoped so far. And the restart, that's more like it from Courtney Laws, who set the whole move in motion with a turnover penalty that gave Brive the territory. And they are willing to risk it. But this could backfire. You don't want to be complacent against this Van team. They made it tough stuff. Alanya snipes, and he's through. Instant reply. It's all about the nines tonight.
Again, this is they're the kind of tries that make defence coaches vomit onto their microphone, because honestly, the risky pass that we made in the conditions we made there was foolish, giving them the field position from which we saw the try happen. Defence was trying to reorganise itself, players panicking, diving on the ball. That is a very, very disappointing score to take.
Ici, s'il vous plaît, pardon. Mets de plus, ouais, j'ai oublié.
Mikel Alanya, 24-year-old Georgian, signed from Aurillac. And even in Pro D2 at Aurillac, he was, like I say, he was on the bench more than he started last year.
Yeah, they got a couple of injuries.
They have lost some players, Van, and they've got some injuries yet, but he's taking his opportunity. He looks dangerous on the snipe.
Yeah, he's always been a very good carrier. Oh, sorry. He's always been a very good ball carrier. I worked with him at Georgia. His weaker area tended to be his kicking, but tonight he's actually kicked really well as well. He's not having his game's been pretty good up to now.
Next job, let's go. Let's go.
It was essential that Van got some reward for the territory that they've had. Down on the scoreboard, but in touch, 17-7. Half an hour on the clock.
Sean Edwards would be crying out right now.
Forced error.
Yeah, I could hear Sean Edwards shouting out now. No double errors. That was a double error. So you mess up in the 22. And I like Pavlov's dog. I can still hear him shouting it. No double errors, no double errors. We just saw that. A kick off straight out to touch. Now there's a scrum for Van. They can put another pressure kick into the Brive half. Go for 50-22. There's a lot of options they have it.
What's no double errors in French? Because he'll shout that at the French national team now. What is that?
I think he would use...
Still in a northern accent though, Joe, please.
Sorry. Pas de double faute. In a northern accent, I can't do it. It's impossible.
No, that's fine, mate. Thank you. Jack M on the comments. Is it even a Pro D2 game without a Georgian try scorer? It's a great point, and it is a real... All sorts of nations in this one. We've got 4 South Africans, 3 Fijians, 3 Englishmen, 2 Irishmen, 2 New Zealanders, 3 Georgians, and more. One of the features of Pro D2, I mean, it is a second-tier competition, but it is doing a vital role, especially for those emerging nations like Georgia, at giving these players opportunities to play week in, week out at pro clubs.
I think Alana is the only Georgian under 100 kgs in French rugby, though, I will say that much. That scrum there was disappointing again. Brive really went for that scrum, so when I say go for a scrum, they want to attack it to try and sever the opposition. You can see, you can't, it's not a good angle. You can see the angle of the Brive tight head, Marcel van der Merwe, really trying to get in onto the hooker. And the referee esteemed that the 9 had come around and put too much pressure on their 9 getting the ball out. Because I think Brive had caved their scrum in and won the scrum battle. It's just Cooney went offside and jumped in on the ball. Such a shame.
There is a little momentum shift. Remember, Van down to 14 men. They've got all 8 forwards on the park though. And this time the ball to the back works. Can they get them all rumbling? Courtney Laws and his octopus arms are all over that one though. Dave Cherry with the ball at the back. Alanya is going to take this one. They are down numbers. No, they're keeping it in. Foolishly so in the end.
The referee gave the scrum there because the ball was held in. I think it's a little bit harsh because Dave Cherry was actually getting some go forward and had gone with the ball, but he must have given him enough warning. He's a fantastic referee, so he was there on the ground. I'm sure it was a good decision. I'm happy about it anyway, put it that way. Nice scrum for Brive. Hopefully they can put a similar amount of pressure onto that Van team now. And maybe crack them open again, get a penalty, the best exit of all.
Yeah, well, Van will maybe think there's a slight seed been planted in the ref's mind that they're on top. We'll see what Brive can do in response.
Again, attacking-wise, if Brive do get the ball out of the scrum, there's so many options. Just 3 defenders up for the Van team. They've got to cover the backfield. Free kick's actually probably a good option for Van.
The crowd seem like they're absolutely loving it, Joe.
Yeah, I think they're enjoying seeing those 2 tries. They're very well-crafted tries. Really enjoyed watching them, and the crowd, I'm sure, did too. Great kick from Cooney.
A reminder that this is a Saturday night game, which is not the norm for Pro D2. It is, by virtue of the fact there is no top 14 this weekend, that returns next weekend, but from next week and every game week, we will be bringing you live rugby on a Thursday night. So it's not clashing with any other matches. Clear your schedule, 8 p.m. And we've got some absolute belters. At half-time, I'll run through the matches we've got ahead. But we're at Biarritz again against Colomiers, 2 teams that won in the opening round. Who is going to get the win here at the Stade Amédée Domenech in Brive? The home side ahead, but with the charge of Dave Cherry and that man Alanya, who got himself on the scoreboard. Van are in touch. Can they get something before half-time? Griddy, nailed. Simon Augry with the tackle. And I have to say, that Van back row have been putting some shots in, the 2 flankers, Augry and Gorisson.
Yeah, you're going to have to tonight. So the head fast ball there, Van, and even then they went for the kick option. So that's what you're going to see from them tonight. So Brive, if they start to win these aerial battles and kick well, they're going to win this game hands down. It's just at the moment they're not winning those aerial battles. They're giving up opportunities like we just saw again. Driddy getting hit so hard. The ball rolled out into Cooney's hands, had to rush a kick away, straight into touch. Opportunity in the 22 again for Van.
To the back and they shape for the maul again. Cherry getting his hands on the ball. Or trying to. Steering the ship from the back there. Penalty advantage. Brive snuffing that one out illegally. What can Van do with this one as the skipper on the charge? They're staying narrow, staying tight. Will they chance their arm at all? No, they're going direct. And it's working for them so far. To within 5 metres, this would be a turnaround. Having been 17-0 down, a man down with Francis Saili with a red card. After a quarter of an hour, Alanya again sniping. He's found the edges. He got his way to the line. He's 1 metre short. Gorisson at the back. Him versus Courtney Laws, the 2 sevens. Going all the way back for the penalty advantage. They got to within 1 metre.
Wow, geez, that was tight again, huh? Alanya went round Marcel van der Merwe like he was stuck in the mud there. He's done him twice in this game. He won't be happy with that, Marcel.
Jouez à la main.
Are they?
Sur la ligne.
They're taking the tap option. Here we go.
Alanya, it's Gorison. Neat little interplay.
I think Alania's
And it
ribs.
really is 10-man rugby that Van are happy to play. Will it work for them? This would be a big moment. In the context of the game, this is a big moment, and they are over. Try scored. They're back. If this conversion goes over to within 3.
Again, this is a pressure game, guys. 17-0 up. That pressure game at 14, you can still stay in a match if you win those aerial duels, if you kick well, and if you're motivated. And this team are so motivated. There could be a late hit there as well. There could be a yellow card here for Sam Maximin, because Alanya, the 9, is on the floor still, and his rib cage is not looking good. So we could actually see a yellow here as well.
And is that the Kiwi, Joe Edwards? Gets his body position underneath Brive and over the line. Was that the skipper asking about the off the ball hit, Joe?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was. We're going to see him look for it. I didn't hear the conversation clearly, but it was pretty clear for us watching here. That's not a good angle. But you'll see from the angle.
You're not happy with the angles tonight, are you? Well, I'll give you feedback to the directors, Joe.
Yeah.
Video.
He's not giving me the impacts and the hits I want to see. It'd be interesting to see what they do here. Here we go. They're looking back.
A comment here that said, "You'd swear Joe Worsley had never left the late shoulder on a 9 before." Wait, that was your job.
Oh, I don't think I was ever caught. Right, here you go. Really, it's pretty late, isn't it? And he sticks his shoulder in as well. Yellow card, I think. Could be a yellow card. If you just wait and let him run into you, it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. But he's late enough there. He's late enough there to pull out.
I mean, I also think Maximin is almost pulling out of the tackle at the point he makes contact. Almost trying, I don't know.
I would agree with you. It's just the way he throws that shoulder there. So is he saying just a penalty at the moment? I'm hoping. Just a penalty, thank God for that. Yeah, I was worried there that would be because there's already a try given, doesn't matter.
Well, Van will be hoping that Alanya is okay. That's probably the main thing, because they've lost some players, they have injuries, and he's had a decent game. The signing from Aurillac, he's up on his feet.
He really has had a good game.
And ready to go to the air again.
Kiss of death. First poor kick he's put in, but falls for.
They've got the ball back. Again. A kick is only as good as its chase. That's what my school's coach always used to say to me back in the day. And the perfect example there, Gorison on the ball, Olding with time. And with some distance. Brive have really, well, they had the pressure right on, and it's completely shifted.
I think 22 entries will be dominated by Van because of Van's pressure game. You've seen the kicks, we talked about it enough. Brive have scored a couple of wonderful tries from far up the pitch. There we see the Penno family celebrating, I think it's Damien's birthday. Yeah. So they're celebrating, watching the rugby together. Hopefully they're enjoying it. But Brive have scored a couple of tries.
By the look of it, they're watching the game on FR UK, just checking for the angles. But they're not getting them there either. Damien didn't look happy with the angles either.
Yeah, so Adam Penno's there because he lives in Brive. He is a Brive legend, leading the team to win the '97 European Cup final. He was an absolute star player, an incredible player, playing for France for many years as well, and produced one of the stars of French rugby now, Damien Penno, who just rips it up for Bordeaux and France. Nice. Hopefully this will give Brive a bit more momentum. The slot machine has stepped up again. Let's hope his abilities and his skills will never see him come through stronger. These kind of moments where you've just taken a couple of scores and you've got the chance to whack 3 points on the board in a situation where an opposition are given a 2 metre tall, 135 kg second row the opportunity to steal a ball. I think that's his first ball still in 3 years for Coty. Now an opportunity for the slot machine to do what he does best. Merited nickname. That is incredibly ridiculous.
20 points to 14 at half-time at the Stade Amédée Domenech. All 20 points from John Cooney, the new signing, going to work. They were 17-0 up. Vannes with a comeback.
17-0, vous sentez bien à 15 contre 14. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé sur ces quelques minutes?
On surjoue un petit peu, on relance notre but, on tente des offloads. Il faudrait qu'on sorte mieux du camp et pour espérer continuer à travailler encore.
On sait qu'il y a cette volonté cette saison peut-être de voir plus de jeux à Brive. Attention de ne pas surjouer peut-être justement.
C'est exactement ça, tu as raison. Juste valider les points qu'on met en essai et au point et ensuite on verra bien.
Merci, on vous laisse récupérer Yann, on va intercepter un Vannetais. Ils ont fini leur conciliabule, c'est Maxime Lafage sans doute qui va s'approcher de nous, de ces Vannetais qui ont eu le mérite de ne pas se décourager comme le demandait Jean-Noël Spitzer.
You've given all the feedback to that. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I'm literally rinsing everybody. Here we go.
Il y a 20-14, c'était pas gagné parce qu'il y a beaucoup de choses contraires contre vous. Il y a ce carton rouge, cet essai qu'on peut discuter, beaucoup d'indiscipline. Pourtant, vous êtes encore dans la partie.
Ouais, je pense que ce carton rouge nous fait très mal. On n'arrive pas à mettre forcément notre jeu en place. Le ballon est un peu glissant pour Amadou, c'est ça qui fait chier aussi. Mais voilà, on a des occasions, il faut scorer. On a perdu trop de ballons pour moi, trop près des lignes, ce qui nous a joué des tours. Maintenant, voilà, il faudra tenir le ballon, garder le ballon chez eux, continuer à les mettre sous pression et bien sûr, les peu d'occasions qu'on aura, il faudra les mettre au fond.
Merci.
Yeah, so the red card really damaged us. Now we're attacking, but we're making too many errors, too many turnovers. When we get the ball into the half, we've got to be making the most of it and scoring.
So it's 2 penalties, 2 tries, 2 conversions for John Cooney, 20 points to 14. Belter of a second half in store. We've had a red card. We've had some handbags. We've had tries. We have got players from all around the world going to town. And 40 minutes of top Pro D2 rugby is coming your way. Thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. Here is a little flavour of what else is going on the channel.
The new rugby season starting. We are here in Angoulême to interview Johnny May, who placed one of the dark horses in this competition, Soyou Angoulême. What impressed you the most at first? Was it the size of the crowds and the desire they have for the rugby here? Was that what hit you
probably
first?
The biggest shock is Thursday night, I think it's 7:30, prime television spot for a Pro League 2 game. There's not a chance you're going to have Doncaster versus Cornish Pirates on a Thursday night in England. Not happening. And then we get Friday night as well, so 7:30 and 9 o'clock, 2 games televised. I just couldn't believe that. That's something that we're miles away from in England. And then, like I said, beyond that, the support at the stadiums, the quality of the stadiums, the quality of the teams, to name a few: Biarritz, Agen, Brive, Grenoble, Aix-en-Provence. Yeah. Like, there's some big teams.
And Vannes, of course,
coming well. It's going to make the league trickier, much trickier. But the quality of the teams, the size of the teams, the stadiums, the support, the quality of the players. I was not to be. I was not.
When you're in England and you were end of your career, what should I do next?
Yeah.
Your agent came and mentioned, do you want to go to France? Was it something you were thinking about?
There was a lot of uncertainty and difficulty, because contracts for anybody nowadays, especially, well, I think in rugby, particularly in England, since COVID and losing a few teams, contracts are hard to come by. So I had lots of chats and lots of things fell through. And the Pro League would have been something interesting to me, but if somebody had said SA Cans, I would have not known. So I would have been like, oh, I don't know what that is. And I had no idea how good the Pro League was. But like I said, I got very, very fortunate. And yeah, this is a fantastic competition.
Yeah. I knew very little about it before I came to France. And honestly, I think 10, 12 years ago, it wasn't the competition it is now. It's got so much better. Like you say, packed crowds, Thursday night, 8,000. Yeah.
The perception, that's exactly, the English perception of the Pro League 2 would be like, as mine was, just like a second division. Do you know what I mean? But it's far from that. I mean, for example, Gloucester previously trained at Hartbury College.
Yeah.
And Hartbury have one of the best teams in the Championship. Those guys are training at 6:30 in the morning, and then they go to work. And every team in the Pro League 2 is fully professional. It's chalk and cheese.
Top 2 leagues fully pro, 3rd league's fully pro. You've got over 50 teams fully professional. That's the depth of French rugby. We can talk long and hard about why. You talked earlier about they work together, go in the same direction, not fight each other the whole time. There's some of the reasons for it. But for example, when you were in England, you had no idea about what you get into. You didn't know Schonert and Guilhem. You didn't know the division very well. What hit you between the eyes when you first came out here?
My first 4 months, there was a big expectation. A, I'm not 28 anymore, and B, it's not part-time rugby. Like the quality is difficult. I think the expectation was, Johnny could get the ball and just run around everybody and score a try. It's not quite like that.
Well, they're expecting like X Factor.
But all the top under-20s French boys play in this league for experience. They come on loan from Brive or La Rochelle. Another thing that's just come to my head, we had our number 8 Massey, who plays in the 2nd division for Angoulême, get called up into the Scotland squad from a 2nd division club. And also there was a centre from Béziers who is in the 2nd division who got called up into the France squad for the Six Nations.
On loan from Toulouse.
So the quality of the game is tough. It's very, very not far off Premiership standard.
So regarding the team, which players do you think we should be looking out for on the pitch?
Forgive me for not saying their surnames, but we've got Remy, who can play fullback and 10, very talented player, injury last season. Remy Pross.
Was he fit at the end of the season?
No. We've got Jules Dubec. Again, he's more of a fullback, very, very fast, very talented. Arthur Poulet. Came from La Rochelle. I'm pretty sure he'll be back in the top 14 next season.
Who else? Obviously
Ben Bosker, Sharp, Coco. He's not called Coco, but he's another number 10. He's been at Grenoble. He's a good player. We've got an old scrum half called Manu. We've got
Manu Sorbus.
Yeah, God knows.
I coached him when he was a young scrum half.
He's one of those guys who keeps us grounded. Gives us the balance that we need. Got some good wingers: Owen Barrett, Irish, Nathan, Matisse as well. So we all share it. I wouldn't.
George Tisley still going?
Yeah, it's George Tisley. I haven't got to him yet. Mao as well, who did his ACL, and obviously being part of the Fijian, he's come back in 4 months and wraps his leg in coconut leaves, and he's looking in incredible shape. So it's a huge asset to have him back. Matisse as well in the centre. We got loads of good backs, but
you've named just backs at the moment. There must be a forward who catches your eye.
Oh God, it's difficult. Mamu.
The big second row.
No, the big hooker. Who's come from
really good ball carrier.
Yes, he's come. I think he might have come from Top 14.
He's a Racing.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
He was Racing before. He was a great ball carrier, scrum cap.
Yeah, good. And we've obviously signed Richie Arnold. We did struggle with our line out last year.
He's a big signing.
He could help us out a lot. We've got Max. Again, surname I'm not going to try and say, but he's a big. He can play tight head lock or number 8.
Yeah, giant for GM with Arnold would be good.
Yeah. Clem Santaberry, another young guy, played under 20s French team. Another guy, complete potential to make the top 14.
Number 3, Dave Cherry, who has gone to Vannes. He'll be alongside Mako Vunipola in that Vannes front row, and he is currently the incumbent Scotland first choice hooker. So they've got a guy in prime form. And it just goes to show the strength of the Pro de Deux that a guy like Dave Cherry is moving to the division. And Van are going to want to bounce straight back. Dave Cherry's the kind of signing that will enable that to be the case. Top two then. Number 2, Jamie Shilcock, signed for Brive. I think this is a class signing. I think for a lot of people this will go under the radar. Jamie Shilcock is that kind of a player. He regularly does go under the radar. But he is a class act. They loved him at Leicester Tigers. Worcester Warriors, he could slot in at 10 brilliantly. He could play 15. And I think it's going to be a really interesting battle. Who is going to get the 10 jersey between him and Kerwin Bosch? Both players, though, Jamie Shilcock and Kerwin Bosch, can both play 10 and 15. So they could both operate as dual playmakers in a Brive team. Jamie Shilcock just has a knack of doing the right thing at the right time. And I think Brive just needs someone to put them in the corners, put them in the right part of the pitch, kick the goals when they're on offer, do the percentages. And I think the electric players that they've got around the half-back pairing, when I look at John Cooney and Jamie Shilcock, I think they look like a couple of guys who could run the show and allow the rest of the working parts to do their thing. We will see, because there's going to be a lot of competition for promotion in Pro de Deux this season. And Provence have made some good signings and are making some moves. And my number 1 international new face in Pro de Deux is New Provence fly half Caleb Muntz. When I look at clubs like Leicester Tigers, when you look around and think there are loads of clubs missing a real high quality fly half that they can build a team around for a few years, I would imagine Caleb Muntz would have been on the shopping list for many, many teams. I imagine Provence have had to open the checkbook to get him, and rightly so. He is a class operator for Fiji, has masterminded some famous wins, and he looks prime to step into Pro de Deux. And he's the kind of player that you could feel would do a job in the top 14. Can he help get Provence there? They are building nicely.
And obviously it's half-time at Brive against Vannes, but these are the games coming up in September, exclusively on FR UK Rugby. This Thursday coming, the 4th of September, Colomiers-Biarritz. We've got Agen, Grenoble, and then we're going to be at Grenoble Stadium. They can pack that place out and create an amazing atmosphere. Nevers, the visitors, before we get Agen and Béziers. That is September. That is live rugby. That is a reason, if no other, to drop a little subscribe on the channel and check out all the other stuff that we've got coming your way. What's Jeremy Davidson saying to his players for Van there, Joe?
I reckon he was shouting about something through the line-out, knowing Jeremy. I think he was probably shouting them to play with a banana, is his favourite expression. Play with a smile. And something to do with being physical and hurting the opposition. I think it's exactly what you're saying.
And what would you say, Joe Worsley?
Half-time, you leave the motivation to the leaders in my book. Sometimes if you feel they're flat, you might jump in with a few key comments associated with how you guys play. Or you just leave it to them, like I said earlier. I prefer not to intervene. That means your team's in a good place. You only ever intervene if you think they're in a bad place. So that half-time, you can't really change the ship too much. You can reorganise the team a little bit, maybe. Say, this kick-off, let's put this player here, reinforce our situation there. When they do their kicks, let's put some more guys around that position where the ball's going to fall, for example. You can make changes like that, which are useful and vital to do sometimes in a game. But the bigger part of the game, how the boys are getting off the floor, running back into the match, how they're combining and running at the line, those areas of the game are more difficult to change.
I was trying to lip read John Cooney and work out if he was saying words in French, French or English. Not sure about that one. How do the? Cause obviously, there's an international flavour in the squad at Brive. Do the guys land, arrive, and get stuck into the French straight away?
Yeah, many clubs have the same attitude. There's French language courses put on every week, and the guys will go. And to be fair, most of our guys are really engaged and wanting to learn. John Cooney being a prime example, went for lessons as soon as he knew his signing. He practices all the time. He's got no shame about getting stuff wrong. It's the right attitude to have. It's how you learn it. He's really getting stuck in and trying to get the ability to talk to people nailed down as soon as possible. For a 9, it's vital, huh?
Here we go then. The second half underway. It's 20 points to 14. The home side in the lead. Looked to me like Mako Vunipola has changed his shirts at half-time. It's a monochrome feel to the kits. Brive in all black. Van in their change strip, wearing white at the Stade Amédée Domenech. It looks packed to me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much another full house. A few guys are in corporate at the moment at half-time. They'll be bringing their vol-au-vents and wine down to their seats shortly to watch this amazing second half, I'm sure we're about to watch.
That cheese is not going to eat itself, but we are ready here on FR UK Rugby for a massive second half, the opening weekend of the season. How good to have rugby back and to have it live every single week here. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a little thumbs up on the video so other people can have their algorithms boosted and find out that this game is on, because it's free, it's exclusive, and we're really grateful that you're here with us this evening as Tisserand carries back for Brive. He was the guy that was on the receiving end of Francis Saïli's shot, which led to Saïli getting the red card. Tisserand off the field for a while, but he's back. Starting the second half. Brive defending a lead that they let slip. 6 points the cushion at the moment. The aerial battle is definitely one thing Brive would have been talking about, and that looked a better weighted kick. Solid shot put on by Jeffrey Cross. Hardly mentioned him, one of the signings from Grenoble, previously played for UBB. Speaks to his talent in what is, as Joe Worsley has been saying, a backline which is going to, well, has had a bit of an overhaul and is going to do some things this season, Joe feels, but we've gone straight to the air. Maybe a more pragmatic second half is what we're going to get from Brive, as John Cooney, all 20 points coming from him so far. Is there anything the man can't do tonight? Big courts. He was signed to play for this team in the top 14. That didn't happen last year. And it's early days yet. These are the kind of games when you look back at the end of the season and your league placement. Home match is absolutely essential, especially when you're up against one of the teams expected to be a contender. Is that a wayward kick? It's landed just inside.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid exit sequence from Brive. They played that first phase off the kickoff, and then they realised the ball was slow, and Cooney direct took a decision straight away, let's go to the air, and then we ended up with that pressure exchange of kicking battles that's going to be vital in this game. The team that wins is going to get the better side of that game. Brive did pretty well there. That last kick was a bit average, but they're now up in the opposition half.
And the replacements starting to come on. There are interchanges that are allowed. How many interchanges is it in total, Joe, with the rolling substitutions?
You could have, it depends on injuries as well. It's complicated, but the front row go off and come back on. Players can come back on if they feel the players in. It's different rules than you have in the Premiership in the UK.
Consequently, you can have giant men like Zachary Afan, 21 years of age. Next chance you get, I think he might have even... No, he wasn't the guy making the tackle. Have a look out for the Brive number 23. 21. Absolute unit. On loan with Brive for the season. Brant's under 20 tight head prop. We'll have a look at him in a scrum. Oh, that was...
penalty
destruction in the air.
No, I think there's a penalty for an escort, I have a feeling. So they blocked. So an escort's when there's a kick going in the air, the player's trying to get to catch the ball or tackle the man catching the ball. And another player blocks him and gets in the way and prevents him from being able to reach that player. Yes, you'll probably see Marcel van der Meer might come back on later, for example. He's gone off at half-time. The giant 21-year-old we're talking about, fans now on the pitch. At some point, you'll probably see Marcel come back on, because the rules, obviously, in French rugby are different, like I alluded to earlier. That wouldn't be possible in the Premiership.
Interesting call here. Jean-Noel Spitzer, the coach for Van, he gives very little away. on the touchline. Didn't even flinch his face. Van went straight to the touchline. They've got the line out. Cherry finds his man. Fabrice Metz. And it's Cherry at the back of that lineup. They've got another penalty advantage. And Mikhail Tadze right round the side there. He wants to be careful. That looked fairly cynical.
That looked very cynical.
Jeremy Davidson not happy.
Yeah, so if you notice, Cote Mikhail Tadze was on the side of the maul. The referee told him to stop. The penalty was given anyway. As soon as he saw the penalty go up, he's an intelligent player. But sometimes he basically killed them all after because he knew he had a penalty, nothing else to lose. But sometimes, often, if they realise you're being cynical like that, they will yellow card you straight away.
5 metres out then. Big start to the second half. Oh, the arrow was there, but the control was not. But they've got the ball back. 7 metres out. They've lost a bit of territory, but they do have the ball. Gorisson with the carry. Dave Cherry waits for his support. They're taking very few risks of Van. But it's been working for them. The other flanker going to work. And the 6 and 7 have been putting the work in. Another obstruction penalty.
Yeah, but see here that the player on the ball, he stepped back on the inside and he ran behind his own support players, who then blocked one of the Brive players from being able to tackle him. It's not American football. That's a penalty.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing that happened in the first half when Saili was the guy in the blocking lane.
Exactly.
Opportunities spurned for Van. How many will they get?
Yeah, honestly, 22 entries is a very good indication of the team that will win the game, that dominates the game. And I think Van will have so many more than Brive, certainly at this point. That after the match they're going to be reviewing, and one of the major points of their review is going to be how they converted that pressure and opportunities into 22 points.
Andre Stassen onto the field for Brive. His second season with the club, signed from the Stormers, one of several South Africans. Brive didn't win the ball in the line-out, but they've got the free kick. They go quickly. They're away. Boudou, ball went backwards off him. Olding steps up to half-back. Terrible pass.
Pizza.
Stop. Pierre, reculez.
Nothing you can do but go to a kick after that.
Pierre, c'est ici. C'est ici.
Cooney's back at the base to do it.
There's a little demonstration.
Brive have managed to change something at half-time, Joe, in terms of the aerial battle.
Yeah, certainly Geoffrey Cross won that ball there. But the ball was tapped back and the scraps was leapt on by Mako. Mako actually caught the ball very skillfully, passed it away, but the player that he passed to just wasn't ready for that ball and knocked it in. Again, the game's been a little bit scrappy in the second half. Some errors, unforced errors, lost its flow a bit. Van will be happy with that, 14 players. They're happy to drag it down into a fist fight on the floor. Kind of game and get
a reminder of some of the players that are unavailable for Brive there, including one of the new signings, Henko Fenter. He could be influential. But also, I wanted to mention that guy, the captain, Stuart Olding, because at half-time I was talking about the battle for the fly half spot being between Kerwin Bosch and I did do that before the teams were announced, in fairness, and Jamie Shilcock. Shilcock not involved today, and talk to me about Stuart Olding as a skipper. He's got that responsibility.
Yeah, he's a fantastic leader in his own right, but he's also bilingual, which is a massive bonus in his ability to understand how the French think, understand how Anglos think, and relay messages and lead the team on the pitch. It's a huge, huge advantage for the team to have someone like him in it. He can play 15, he can play 10, he can play 12. He's a multi-talented player. I'm sure we'll see him at some point with Jamie and with Kerwin in the same team.
Let's see how the giant man that is Zachary a fan. Well, he's, tell you what, he's going to work there on Mako Vunipola. He could be a talent, Joe, this kid.
He has had a good pre-season in which he's demonstrated scrum time. He uses that massive weight and just piles it on top of the opposition loosehead. Incredible pressure, and that loosehead, in this case, Mako's got to hold it. And as soon as that loosehead gets tired with those long scrums that we just saw, that scrum gets to 5, 6, 7 seconds. It's so tiring to be that loosehead holding up all that weight that he takes a backward step and then he's done. That was the kind of scrummage we just saw from a very talented young 21-year-old kid. We also saw the referees this year, they want the ball to come out of the scrum. So instead of giving a penalty to what looked like a very dominant Brive scrum, he let the play go on. Brive got it out, but they made a mistake straight away. That was a big mistake.
Van will want to hold out better than they did, and it put exactly as Joe's saying, the ball was available. Alanya uses it. Maxime Lafarge looked like he was going out the back, hit it short, and it is those hard lines that Van are hitting. Will they go to the edge on this one? No, again, Mako Vunipola rides the first shot from John Cooney. And it is that pragmatic type forward pod shake that we're seeing from Van. Not much in the way of invention, but they are a man down and they are in touching distance, and they have another 22 entry. Good tackle from Boudou on the Van skipper Gorson. Ball looked like it bobbled clear. Illegally so.
Yeah, so we saw a good shot. That's number 23, Zachary, the replacement tight head we were drooling about just now. He put another good tackle in, but then he was stuck on the wrong side. And Stevenson went to compete, and with a tackler on the wrong side, that's always going to be a penalty.
So, yeah, so Zachary Afan, definitely one to watch. He's a French under-20 tight head. He's had 5 appearances for UBB, but they wanted to get a season of, or at least several months at least. He could get called back to Bordeaux, I guess, but hopefully we're going to see a full season of him in Pro D2.
Yeah, I think normally you have to commit to a whole season, at least 3 months. In France, you can't have people jumping in, jump out of squads. It's very limited, very tight numbers. People just can't do that, so he's here for at least 3 months.
Maxime Lafarge nails his kick. They go for the post this time and pull it back once again to within 3. 20 points to 17. The fans from Breton are in. No bagpipes, but we'll see those. I'm really looking forward to one of the Van home games, Joe.
Oh, I can't wait to go there. It's meant to be amazing.
In fact, that's one of the things. We get a lot of people getting in touch with the channel, interested in having weekends away in France. I just could not recommend it enough. Do it. We'll be doing it. We'll be bringing you content from our road trips. We're trying to inspire some French road trips as well. So just subscribe to the channel, watch this space, and get stuck in. Joe's even talking about hosting weekends in France, organising rugby matches, getting the stars to come out and meet us as well. So yeah, just keep your eyes and ears peeled on the channel. There'll be interesting and exciting stuff coming soon, Joe.
Everyone loves a rugby tour.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Avec le pied! Avec le pied!
The one word we've used to describe Van throughout this game is tough. They showed that all last season in top 14. Normally the underdog, but not just at home, away from home as well, made themselves really, really hard to beat. And again, the aerial duel is paying off for them.
Yeah, so we're going to see a penalty given here for the chasing player yet again being prevented from getting to the player catching the ball by a Brive player. You've got to be so careful not to block any player. Referees will give that penalty instantly.
Lafarge peppers the touchline. It was Pierre Boudouin who got up there in the air. another player with top 14 experience, not just with Van, he was signed from Stade Francais. There was the list of budgets was published this week, Joe, and Brive were top. Now that was overall operating budgets for everything, but I mean George North has been talking this week. I'll mention what he had to say in a little bit, but this is a proper league that rivals most other top leagues. As Van punch up in midfield, it was the try scorer just before half-time, Joe Edwards. Alanya really is doing a good job at sniping, and he has set his team on the way with Matteo Desieux taking Van again to within 8 metres. Alanya looking up and around, ferreting for the ball. Joe Edwards again, he's got a work rate. Very rarely putting in the second pass. Trying to inch their way to the line. Low risk, but how effective. Brive, goal line defence. Have they held that up over the line? I think it's going to come back. Dave Cherry's there waiting. So is his captain. Penalty advantage. This is a shot to nothing, and Van are going in the lead. Are they? Is he calling that a knock-on the field?
He was right there. I think he must have seen it. Camera's right there as well. I'm sure they'll have a look.
Penalty advantage in their back pocket, and Pierre Boudehon may have scored. I can't tell anything from his face. Not sure he's convinced.
Yeah, it was a well-run launch play that got them into the 22 with a really well-executed switch that attacked back towards the ruck. And then it was just a matter of physical power, ball-carrying ability that got them to the line. But we'll see here what happens. Oh, cameraman's slow. I think we're going to have to wait. The referee might decide on his own. He's probably got the best angle of all.
On-field decision.
Well, this should give it this angle here. That looks...
Pour moi, il est plus en maîtrise. En contact avec le ballon ici. On voit une séparation.
John Cooney straight away was saying knock on. He's a very experienced, wily customer, mind you. So there's nothing conclusive. If he'd said try on field, that would be given as a try, no question. But I guess it's all in what he said, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't hear what his description was, but when you look at that, it doesn't look like he loses it. It doesn't look like it changes direction.
Toujours en contrôle pour vous.
Big moment in the context of the game.
Maybe there. But he's got the best angle.
On voit que la main droite est quand même collée au ballon. Ah ouais, ici on voit que la main droite est toujours en contact.
Yeah, so his right hand's always in contact.
Ok, donc c'est valable.
S is going to get a tries given. Oh my God.
For the first time in the game, Van are in the lead, having been 17-0 down. Their travelling fans have something to cheer. Pierre Boudehon has put them in front, and they are doing this one man down. 14 men since, well, less than 20 minutes on the clock when Francis Saïli was shown that red card.
Yeah, you're just seeing that motivation and desire that they have. They've been widely regarded for it. Everyone admired what they did in the top 14 last year. But the core of everything they do, that desire and motivation to get off the floor, get in the fight, and they're certainly in the fight at the moment.
Cool as a cucumber, Maxime Lafarge. 253 points in the top 14 last year. And he's continuing here in Pro D2, and a concerned look on the Brive bench. More relaxed there for Francis Saïli. And as much as you've said, we've seen the motivation and the kind of camaraderie that Van have got. We'll just wait and see how this... Oh, that's a poor error from Stuart Holden. I was just about to say, Joe, what of the psychological impact of that semi-final defeat for Brive and the hangover from it?
This is the first serious game since that match. So when that game became tight, when they went 10 points ahead in that semi-final, some players lost their heads a bit. Right now, under the pressure, under the cosh, we need to see this Brive team muscle down, just play the simple options and just get back in the game. Just executing the simple options. I hope I don't see a team that try and force it or lose their heads in any way in making rash decisions.
Well, a great position here. If Van did want to chance their arm attack, this would be a set piece to do it from, I suspect. That's not what we're going to see, understandably, with Francis Shaili out of the game, down to 14 men. Alanya goes to the blind side, and I take it back. They've gone to the edge. And good change on that carry from Ben Stevenson, someone I've not even mentioned this evening, the 27-year-old signing from, so I was going to say Newcastle Falcons, Newcastle Red Bulls. He had a brilliant season in the Premiership last year, 10 tries in 22 appearances. He's with his new club. He hasn't been used so much so far. Good chasing the kicks, but what can Van do? They've got a bit of territory. There's pressure being put on by Stas in there. The try scorer, Boudahan, feeding to the outside. A little bit more fluency. Slightly quicker ball, Alanya. And again, with that quicker ball, Courtney Laws all over that one. Another turnover for him.
Okay, so this penalty is interesting. Almost. The first player was on the ball legally. The first jackler. He was cleared out.
Ruck, second man.
The referee esteemed that the ruck was formed at that point, so Courtney couldn't come in and jackal. But I did feel like, and this is where ruck's so fast, it's so difficult sometimes to make that call. Because the player had cleared out the other jackler, it seemed like there was no one over the ball at the time. Let's have a look now at how that panned out. So Crone gets on the ball, he gets cleared out, and then Courtney's on the ball there. And the ref says that's already a ruck. Second player can't get on the ball. Only that first player could have stolen the ball. Tough on courts though.
And it has cost him 3 points. Maxime Lafarge putting over another penalty. Still no emotion from the coaching bench. Stuart Olding wanted to have a chat with the referee. They've got problems to solve. The atmosphere in the crowd at Brive has changed somewhat. 17-0 up. And here they find themselves 7 points down. And we haven't seen the Brive attack that Joe Worsley was talking about, that a lot of work has been done on developing David Darry-Carrère, the coach, newly installed, attack-minded. They've got the players, they've made the signings. We've not seen the control from Brive since they went 17-0 up.
No, but here's an opportunity, a line-out in the opposition half. Let's hope to see a well-executed line-out, followed by a successful launch play or more. Brive need to get back on top. We haven't seen anything from them apart from one lucky long-range penalty towards the end of the first half since they made those two fantastic tries.
Cyril Blanchard, Hugo Diehi, and that's Timothy Mezou all onto the field. The changes being rung by Van. More energy and a change at the fly half position. Kerwin Bosch is on for Brive. Definitely more of a running 10. That could change the approach from Brive as Courtney Laws takes that one at the top of his jump. It's good ball. And it's good defence as well from Van. Cooney out the back. The ball is spilt. It's a knock-on advantage. Van could be through here. Driddy can't tidy it up. He's back on the edge of his own 22 now. From a solid platform looking to get into Van's 22. They've got to start all over again. Have the men in black, and you can hear the Stade Amédée Domenech quieter than it was in the first half. When that man was running the tries in, John Cooney exits. Big Joe Edwards. Carries back, tackled by a Van. And Van again, have the space on the edge. The hole's starting to appear. You wouldn't know which team has the extra man at this point. Courtney Law's not able to get out of the way, and another breakdown penalty. Stuart Olding's face says it all. Yellow card for Courtney Laws.
Wow, that seems harsh. I know he's maybe gave that penalty away earlier, being the second man coming in. That's harsh. Let's see what happens now. Man, this is a hole they're in now. The Brive team really need to step up. This is where, again, leadership's going to be vital. Stuart Olding's off. Courtney Laws is off. Cooney, new player to the squad. Let's hope he can step up and integrate this team to get out of the hole they're in, because at the moment, it's the situation, 20 minutes to go, where the team has to step up. Like I said, they had an opportunity in the opposition half, made a poor launch play, turned over, bang, down into the 22, kick, poor chase, and now a yellow card penalty, 5 meters out. Massive, again, massive momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Van had the opportunity to go 10 points clear, and they are going for the jugular here. Taking down that source. Couldn't set them all up, but do Van even need them all? The pick and go, keeping it tight, has worked pretty well for them so far. Joe Edwards waiting, looking for another try. Mezu on his shoulder. And another penalty advantage. Discipline for Brive last season was a big issue. Got on the wrong side of the referee too many times. And there is a pattern here, Joe, at the minute. Yeah. A really worrying one for Brive.
There is a very worrying situation. That's hoping, well, I'm hoping and praying. If you're a Van fan, you wouldn't be, but Brive needs to get back on that horse. It's been off it for the last 40 minutes. They have to jump back on, guide it in the right direction, which is in the opposition half. Next time they get an opportunity, they need to take it, because this is now going to be a 10-point game.
This is exactly the kind of toughness. And if you watch the top 14, you saw week in, week out from this side. We should not be surprised at the heart that Van have got. Marshalled by that man, Maxime Lafarge. They take the opportunities when they present themselves. And full advantage taken, and it is a 10-point lead. 17 minutes to go. And Brive are only going to have a man advantage for 10 minutes with Courtney Laws in the bin. What a turnaround we have seen.
Incredible, isn't it? Again, we talked about the character of that, and with all the best coaching in the world and the best players in the world, it's that motivation and teamwork that really gets you places. That sounds a bit cheesy, but you're seeing it in the flesh now and what it means and what happens when a team works hard for each other and doesn't give up.
And you can sum up Brive's evening with that moment. It looks like not only couldn't control it, lost the opportunity for a counter-attack. A bit of hobbling going on there at Tisserand as well. To the air again. Strong chase, but Van presents the opportunity, and Ben tackle-wise away. His debut for Brive, lifted off the deck. Mikatadze on the carry. Huge moment.
That is a big moment. Again, pressure game, telling Brive were losing that pressure game, and then massive error from Van, giving Ben an opportunity by deep into 22. An opportunity for Brive again gone. There, the referee penalised the support player for falling on the ball as he was supporting the ball carrier. Let's have another look see who it was. But again, that's another situation in the opposition half with the opportunity they could have got back in the game. Imagine that momentum swing and how much confidence they get from being 3 points behind that. Unfortunately, for Brive, the support player was deemed to have lost his feet. Penalty. Now it's an opportunity for Van in the Brive half.
Nice moment there for the 38-year-old Pagatafili. And that's why they've got the giant head in the crowd. 200th appearance for the club. For the big tight head. Medrano coming off. He's done his job today. The bench getting emptied for Van. Trying to put this game to bed. Brive from such a strong position, trying to fight their way back into it. A rare poor kick there, but that says everything. Van chase hard, get the ball. Breakdown is fierce at the minute.
Yeah, again, yet another pressure kick won by the Van team, but a wonderful ball steal from Tanised Rugby. Let's have another look at that one, because you see off kicks, when it's disorganised, there's no structure like we see here when the player wins the ball. Often the support's a little bit late. So in this option, no one takes the ball. Falls for the 11. As he comes to deck, Sadragu's good position, gets his feet to the perfect jackal position, gets on the ball. Again, another good example of good jacking.
John Cooney may have to leave the field. Yeah, he took a bit of a donk when he made that tackle. Spilt a bit of claret for his club. So another new signing. Off goes one, on comes another. Mathis Galtier. Yes, son of. And a signing from Colomiers. And his old team is, well, the ground where he was playing last season is where we are heading on Thursday night as Colomiers entertain Biarritz. Live rugby every week here on FI UK Rugby. And Thursday night is going to be our normal spot, and that is where we will be this Thursday. Courtney Laws, the last time we were here broadcasting a live game, it was in the semi-final, and Courtney Laws had a face very similar to that one at the end of that game. Bereft after defeat to Montauban. Montauban off to the top 14. Now the team that have come down are inflicting more pain at this moment in time on Brive. What can Ben Tapua? You just saw him there, new signing from Union Bordeaux-Bègles. He's played in the Premiership, he's played in Super Rugby, he's played in the URC as well, and the top 14. Completed the set.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? He has been everywhere. Still going at 36 years old. Fair play.
Is this a normal amount of recruitment that's been done by Brive, Joe? Is a lot of players in and out, and I wonder if that will just take a little bit of time to bed in as well.
Yeah, that always does take time when you change the squad drastically. Now, there was a squad that was inherited by the people in charge now from previous coaches. Often there's a year or two contracts, so you don't find the squad you really want until a year or two into your reign at the club. And one of the reasons there's a lot of changes this year is because a lot of contracts that were signed by previous coaches finished, and players that the coach wanted to impress the ones that were there came in. Yeah, a lot of changes, especially in the back line.
I'm sure it's the back line they want to get some of the ball, or will they go to the power game? They're not going to do anything if they can't win their own line-out ball, and even at the front, Van managed to get up in front and exit. Although it has gone straight out, so this is ebbing and flowing. A really important period of the match now. 4 minutes until Courtney Laws returns to the field following his yellow card. 10 points the difference. Really good line-out work there from Simon Augury.
Yeah, really good line-out work. But Brive need to win this ball effectively, have an effective launch off it. Again, it's messy. It's messy, scrappy game. The kind of game that allows a 14-man pressure team to stay in and be 10 points ahead of you after leading 17
down. Some of these errors are coach killers. Is that potential 50-22? not going to go there, whatever the case may be.
Still an opportunity off the drop to attack up into the opposition 22. We'll see that. Again, it's just been a really messy second half. And for Brive, if they just manage to do the basic things right, hold on to the ball, attack relatively successfully, with a 14-man team in front, the errors will come, the penalties will come, you're able to be patient. It's just now players might start to think, my God, there's 10 minutes left, we're 10 points behind. Start to rush it. This is where things can get scary. We need someone to make a big play for Brive soon.
Well, they've got some big men that can do exactly that. They've got some hot steppers as well. Tisserand, he's been busy. Galtier feeds the forward pod, little tip inside. This time they go out the back. Need more of that sticky spray on Nick Crone. Spilling the ball, he won't want to see that again. And it gives Van an easy exit, and they find grass. Despite the men in the backfield. Van chased well as well, put pressure on the kick. And they've got space to attack into now. Boutier, signing from Montpellier. Recycles. There's a space there. This could be the defining moment in the game if Lafarge can find his man. Fantastic break from the 10. They've got the territory, if not the ball. I wouldn't have space on this bit of paper to keep a chart of the unforced errors.
A huge number. That pass by Lafarge there was horrific, wasn't it? He maybe had too much sticking on his hands. It seemed like he didn't let go of the ball properly. But again, a brutal error from Brive led to some bad defence. With players shooting out the line, not staying connected with the ball inside him. And then Lafarge butchering, we can say safely there, butchering try-scoring opportunity.
Lafarge found himself in all kinds of space. He went for the one-arm Hail Mary with that one.
Throw a grenade.
I think he was just trying to avoid getting hit.
The war movie.
Pull the pin out of it and let it go. Brive untidy, but at least they win the ball this time. Ben Tapawai feeding the forward pod in a wider channel. Trying to tie those Van defenders in. Bosch sitting back in the pocket. There is space, but there's no options there whatsoever. So, gonna have to be route one again. Ben Tapawai goes for a little nudge through. Can it get to Griddy? No, he can't because Anthony Boutier is there. Snuffed out the danger. Joe, last season, Erwin Driddy was... He got 10 tries to his name and was electric for Brive. I've hardly mentioned him tonight.
Yeah, he's not touched much ball. We've had those 2 tries in which Brive scored 2 fantastic tries, but really haven't held on to the ball for long periods. There's not been many phases of play and attack, which is the reason you've not seen much from any of the wingers tonight, really. The wingers have done an incredible amount of work chasing, catching high balls, the part of the game that gives you the pressure game that we've been seeing. But in terms of attack, they've been pretty disappointed with how much decent ball they got fed tonight. Erwin Driddy had a fantastic year last year. He's been very quiet tonight.
And the men from Breton have snuffed out another line out. The set piece for Brive is turning into an Achilles heel in this second half. That's 4 lineouts in a row. And I just wonder, and maybe we can talk to this in a minute again, it just feels very similar to the Montauban match in the sense that players that you expect more from just doing the basics poorly.
Yeah.
As Driddy does get his hands on the ball. Galtier with a nice quick wide pass and an absolute cannon of a boot.
That is actually a great kick. Toyed with going out on the full, that would have been a nightmare coming back through the scrum, but a decent kick. Not many of them tonight from Brive, but that was a good one. We've just seen that.
Nearly a 22-22, that one. Was that Kerwin Bosch? A huge boot on him.
Yeah, Southampton's.
Mako Vunapola's ears. Discuss.
Do you know those Toby mugs you can buy? Where they got the giant handles instead of ears? I think that's what he based his look on.
Sign of a job well done as a prop.
He's a fantastic player. He's had a good game tonight. Actually, no, he's probably disappointed. He made a couple errors, but still, he's a great season last year. I'm sure he'll have another good one this one.
Borisson just flirting with going off his feet there. Brive do manage to get the ball back, and he's back on the field. He's had to watch the last 10 minutes. Sure, with frustration, Courtney Laws can impact the game now, though, but
lucky
not like that. And in this situation, 10 points the difference, 8 minutes to go. Is it 5 points? I'm forgetting. The rules have changed in various ways, but the bonus point stays the same as last season, Joe?
Yeah, so the bonus point is still the same. You've got to be within 5 points. You've got to be within 5 points to maintain a bonus point in defence. Okay. This puts them back within 7, which is not enough. But after that, a few tries are going to come.
It will be the first points that they have had since I think about 25 minutes.
Come on, Kerwin, nail this. Massive moment there, massive moment. 3 points, there's a kickoff coming their way. Can they exit successfully by hand, by foot, whatever it needs, get up into that van half and create a turnover, create a moment which gives them that opportunity to get back into 22 and get back into this game. This is the key moment. They've got to do it now if they want to get back into this game and have a chance of winning it.
Back to the Gilbert balls now. I can't remember what that make of the ball that they used in the playoffs was, but that just feels right.
B-sport balls.
Yeah. But what can Anthony Boutier do with it? Yeah, Bosfiel balls. He loved them. We'll see how Jerome Bosfiel can do in the top 14 when that returns, and we'll be covering that on the channel, of course. But live rugby here in Pro de Dirt. We've got a massive final 6 minutes. Van on the road at Brive, 2 of the likely title contenders. Both will be aiming for the top 14. Another huge boot there. Is that going to bubble onwards? No. Ooh. Almost went back into the field of play there. Certainly one for Brive crowd of asking the ref to have a look at. He's happy enough. I think he might have taken that back over the line. He did, you know.
Could be a scrum.
That's a 5-metre scrum, I think.
Ooh, it is, yeah. This is clear exterior. We're going to have a scrum there. What a mistake.
What a kick as well from Mathis Galtier, to be fair.
Yeah, he put a fantastic first kick in. Off that kickoff, it was a really poor kickoff from Lafarge. Allowed Galtier to put in a monster kick straight away with no pressure. That immediately puts Brive in control in that pressure battle. Then they come back with a high challenge kick. Brive win it, it's too long. Galtier puts in that monster kick, and now we're in this situation. From a kickoff, after 3 points, they get in the opposition half, and now they've got an opportunity to maybe tie this game.
Here we go. This is Pro de Dirt Rugby. A packed house. I was going to say a Thursday night. It will be Thursday night. This is Saturday. A game going down to the wire. Brive, the home side, with an opportunity 5 metres out. And that man that set the whole thing in motion, Mathis Galtier. Rock solid from Brive this time. I tell you what, it's times like this, Joe, this sort of context, no one complains about reset scrums. This is just pure rugby drama.
And Ramos is a really good referee. He can read what happens. He'll see a blatant error, but if he thinks it's just a scrum that's gone down and he's not certain about a penalty, he's not going to intervene at this point. Partly because referees are trying to avoid the scrum becoming a dominant factor in the game, but the other factor is the game's in the balance right now. When the game's in the balance, the referees become more pragmatic with penalty decisions and don't give ones that aren't blatant. So I think unless you see a blatant error from Van, the referee will want Brive to play this ball.
There is a 17-year age difference between the two tight head props going in for this one. A 21-year-old for Brive, a 38-year-old for Van. Youth and experience, the anchors for each of their scrums. Who's coming out on top? Huge moment. Well, the ball's coming straight out the back. Galtier. And Driddy is in. He adds to that try-scoring tally. He managed to get a few metres infield to make the kick slightly easier. Who is going to be taking the kick? Bosch again. Pressure on. Brive have got a chance to take it level.
That's an awesome move. Look how Tanny, number 8, lets it roll out as if he didn't make a mistake letting it roll out. And Galtier played it straight away. Fantastic. They're really lucky there. Number 8 letting the ball roll out like that. Galtier, very quick-witted, got the ball, made the right call with the pass. If the ball rolls out like it did, the defence is probably not expecting that kind of tempo of play of how the ball came out. And the winger made a poor decision for Van.
209 points for Brive last season. A huge 2 points available. And taken! You said it was Jeremy Davidson. What was his favourite phrase? Something about the banana. There was a bit of banana about that kick.
That was a banana kick. My God, was he trying to play with my nerves? Because wow, that really bent that one, didn't it?
Grandstand finish. There's a few moments to go. We are locked at 30 apiece.
They've been playing with 14 players since what, 20 minutes in? Hopefully fatigue will set in here as well. We'll see.
Well, Joe Worsley, he does have skin in the game with Brive. Just in case you're wondering, he is biased, and he declares his bias. He's quite open about it. I want the best team to win. Van have been heroic. Brive started so well. Looked like they were taking the game comfortably. Possession, absolutely everything. You might have heard a little slap on the desk there. That was Joe Worsley. And I'm sure there'll be frustration in that Brive coaching box. Van have the ball. They have territory. As the clock ticks down to within 2 minutes. Game on the line. No risks being taken. They have had the better of the breakdown.
You can hear Van there shouting piston, which is just these small blocks of forwards just smashing up one time after the other. Very boring rugby.
Yeah. One pod to the left, you can see the next one setting up to the right immediately. They're just trying to get points, win territory 1 metre at a time, maybe hope for a turnover pen. Brive are still attacking the breakdown. They're having a go. They are in kicking range now, Van. Boudehon, who was the try scorer, put Van ahead for the first time in the game. Meters being taken out of the territory by Brive, and the ball is loose. Courtney Laws manages to get possession. What can Brive do with it now? There is a transition. Van was flirting with offside with that one, but Brive happy with the draw at this point. Potentially they don't want to lose the game, that's for sure. And another huge kick. Grandstand finish. And Brive are going to have one more set piece in Van territory. What should the line out call? The line out has been a mess in the second half. What would the call be, Joe, if you were on the field?
They'll probably go for the safest option, but I think now Van are marking it quite hard. have to wait and see what the Van setup is. The easiest option will become clear when you can see that. So the line-out call-out, we'll have to look at a Van line-out thinking where's he going to throw the ball, what setup they've called. There are various options he can use, and he'll pick the one where he thinks the space is.
How good is this? Look at that crowd, packed house, 15,000 capacity at the Stade Abadi, Dominic. Maximin up for the line-out. He went to deck. The Brive Maul stays up. This is why on FR UK Rugby we bring you live matches. This is why we wanted this to be shown. It was criminal that it wasn't being shown in the UK and Ireland. That is a bizarre call. That, having given it the big up, that is the most bizarre way to end what has been an absolutely exceptional match.
Yeah, that's been a very
Cohen Bosch with a brain fade.
Yeah.
After a banana kick to equal up the scores.
Yeah, like a 1970s central defender. Just booting the ball out.
If in doubt, kick it out. Well, let's focus on the facts. It's shared spoils in Brive. Two of the teams which are surely going to be somewhere near the top of the table, vying for the top 14. After 80 minutes, cannot split them. An extra man for Brive for most of the game. They were 17-0 up. Van's resolve that they showed all last season in the top 14 and taking it right down to the final day was in evidence there as they took the lead. And we wonder whether Brive, again, the scars of that semi-final defeat to Montauban had come through again, but they maybe showed that they've got a little bit of mental fortitude that they've gained over the summer as well to pull it back and square the game at 30 points all. Joe Worsley, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm delighted that Brive, my unbiased commentary, I'm delighted Brive got back into it. It's super. But they got back into it because of a massive error, a massive Pochettino-esque error by dragging the ball back over his line and giving that scrum opportunity from which Brive scored. So Brive are not going to be happy with that performance in any way. Well, if you think about the three sectors, pressure game didn't perform well at all. The attack, two wonderful tries, but around that didn't really perform that well. Defensively, we didn't perform. I'm not going to be happy with that performance in any way. Van, they can take away from this, again, solidarity, teamwork. Put that to one side. Their pressure game was good, well executed. And their attack game wasn't really lighting up. Defensively, they're average at times as well. So, of the two teams, Van are going to be happier. Definitely happier. So, we're going to hear now, hopefully, from some of the players, and we'll get some of their first-hand views on what happened.
I'll tell you what, we can hear from some of our commenters while we're waiting. Lou Jones, bizarre and beautiful. I love that. Perfectly put. And then it's just brilliant. I'm looking forward to rugby and chat on Thursday. Yes, that and every Thursday. We will be in Colomiers, one of the other teams that made the playoffs. They're playing against Biarritz, who, I'll tell you what, Biarritz had a hell of a result last night.
Incredible.
They hammered Béziers, 55-36. So and Colomiers had a really good result as well, away at Mont-de-Marsan. So that already looks like a really
avec
good
Elliott
game
Roudil qui découvre la Pro D2 de fort belle manière ce soir. Match nul, Elliott. On se dit qu'au vu du scénario du match, vous auriez pu espérer mieux finalement, même si c'était mal engagé.
Ouais, à chaud là, j'ai un peu les sentiments partagés. J'ai à la fois de la fierté parce qu'on arrive quand même à faire égalité ici à Brive et on sait que c'est très compliqué et en plus encore plus à 14. Mais à la fois un peu agacé parce qu'on lâche sur la fin de match sur des petites scories. C'est des détails, mais voilà les sentiments partagés.
Gros match, grosse intensité, la Pro D2 de plus en plus dure. On le voit, vous serez à la lutte avec ces brévistes et d'autres sans doute jusqu'au bout. C'est un sacré morceau quand même ce soir-là.
Ouais, putain, c'est dur la Pro D2 franchement. C'est âpre, c'est dur physiquement. Là, ça a couru, mais d'autant plus qu'on était à 14. Mais non, c'est vrai que la Pro D2, le niveau est relevé et c'est très intéressant.
Merci, bonne saison à vous. Merci beaucoup, Elliott. On va enchaîner avec Julien Tisseron, l'un des nouveaux, là aussi, sous ce maillot bréviste ce soir. Alors, je ne vais pas reprendre le premier mot qu'a dit Elliott, mais c'est dur, la Pro D2. Gros niveau d'entrée. Vous avez senti, allez, pas dire la différence par rapport au top 14, mais on sent quand même que là, on a mis déjà la barre très haut dès la première journée, Julien.
Ouais, c'est clair, c'était un match engagé, voilà, avec déjà un terrain un peu compliqué. Dévanté, bon, avec un effectif quasiment de top 14, mais c'est vrai que voilà, ça C'était un match tactiquement compliqué en deuxième mi-temps. On a un peu subi les ballons hauts. Ils ont joué à 14, donc ils ont joué leur jeu voilà, à l'extérieur. Et nous, on a fait trop de fautes de main, je pense, pour espérer l'emporter. Après, ce qu'il faut retenir, c'est vraiment qu'on reste invaincu ce soir et qu'on voilà, est parti se chercher ce match nul.
Ouais, c'est un scénario un peu bizarre. Vous menez 17-0, vous êtes à 15 contre 14. On se dit que ça va être un cavalier seul. Vous faites largement doubler. Finalement, on se dit que c'est plutôt un bon résultat au final. C'est un peu bizarre à analyser ce match.
Ouais, franchement, là, il y a 10 minutes, le match nul, on le prenait, on le signait. Comme tu dis, on commence très bien cette rencontre et je sais pas, après on subit peut-être physiquement aussi l'impact des avant-vantés, mais c'est vrai que c'est dommage. Il y a des regrets, mais au final, je pense qu'au vu de la deuxième mi-temps, satisfait de ce match nul. Ouais.
Merci Julien, voilà, tout le monde est content finalement ce soir. Merci beaucoup.
30 points apiece, the full-time score. And yeah, there's no subscription required for this one. This is free rugby on FR UK, and this is what you're going to get all season long. This is what the Pro D2 does, and well, honours even between Brive and Vannes. And I'll tell you what, Vannes, neither team showed their best, Joe, but these are tough lads from Breton.
Yeah, I mean it's the first game of the season, normally a difficult one to get off the bat. But those lads from Breton, yeah, they're tough as you like. They never give in. They carry that spirit through. They'll definitely be contenders for the end of this tournament.
Tell you what, let's have a look at some of the games that are coming up. What we're offering you here on FR UK Rugby. We'll be bringing you the televised game, the big Thursday night match every single week. Thursday coming up, 8 p.m. kickoff, Colomiers against Biarritz. And then that is how September looks. We'll have a couple of looks at Agen, a couple of looks at Grenoble. I did see a comment that said, "Are you going to do an Aurillac game?" We're covering all the teams. Don't you worry. So the way it works is 3 or 4 weeks before the matches, the Pro D2 bosses, I don't know who they are, Joe. You probably know them by name. They all sit around the table and decide which is going to be the Thursday night game. That is the game we bring you, and there are some absolute belters there.
There are, aren't there? Can't wait for those games. Looking good. Looking good. What a schedule.
So drop a little thumbs up on the video. Hit subscribe on the channel. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, we'll be in Colomiers, where the playoff journey began for Montauban. They're in the top 14. But we here at FR UK Rugby bringing you live Pro D2.